Hey, thanks for joining me today. Milo here, and hopefully I am making good on my schedule. By that I mean this should be coming out Sunday, maybe, hopefully. Who knows? So this is technically episode 1 of my devlog for the game Prison Pest, and in this video I am going to be showing off the random level generation that I've created with my game. Like I said before, there's going to be a set of 3 randomly generated levels for the player to complete, and at the end I'm thinking maybe a boss battle or something to kind of give the player that completion feel. But who knows? Still workshopping it even as we go through the weeks. Um, yeah, it's been fun so far. She says, definitely not sarcastically. Oh my goodness, help me. I would also like to mention, hopefully, maybe, if you're hearing this now, then it's definitely up, that I have a website up called this is where you can see all the different types of shenanigans I get up to, whether that be game projects, books, crochet. You can see me rant about crochet a bit. There's also going to be a few other links to socials that I'm going to be using. Not a lot of them are set up right now, and a lot of them have been ghost for a little bit. There were a few that I've been active on for like a week, maybe, possibly. But yeah, if you're curious about that, there'll be a link in the description and in my bio. I will also say that I am just coming off of a sickness, so if you can hear that in my voice, I do apologize. I tried to hold off on recording as long as I could. But I want to get this out by Sunday. And if I didn't get this out by Sunday, I would have fallen into another filming slump. And I don't want to do that again. I just got back here. I don't want to leave. You're not going to win me that easily. Now, as you all know, I refuse to do tutorials until I know personally that I can make my own tutorials and not just rip off someone else's. Because that's not cool. I'm not down with that. I want to teach on my own. I understand that there can be other teachers, that I can learn from other people right now. Took me a hot moment to fully be comfortable with that, but I am not gonna rip off someone else's tutorials. However, I will attempt to drop the code, like some files of the code I use down into the description below. And I will also try and link the tutorials. I will 100% link the tutorials I use and mention in the description of this video. I will be also be sharing the errors I ran into when I was watching these tutorials, and I will be sharing with you how I fixed them. So starting off with, here's a little look at the random level generation. As you can see, I used white squares for the rooms. I will be changing this though. This is just like placeholder art while I'm trying to figure out how to get actual art in, because I don't have the time to make art right now, so I'm going to be using stuff off of the Unity asset store for free. I do like making my own art for my games. Check out my website to see a game coming at the end of September, hopefully, maybe. Looks kind of like I might have to bleep that out, oh my god. But anyway, moving on, shameless promo. And you can also see that I use a blue square to mark my exit scene. Now, like I said in the beginning, I will be giving you the names and links to the tutorials I watched in order to make the different functions of my game happen. And I will also be sharing my experience and how I fixed some errors I found in the code. These tweaks are in no way, in any shape or form, an attack on the channel, an attack on the video, an attack on the fans, or an attack on the creator. I am simply sharing my experience with the tutorial video. I'm giving you the resources to go look at that tutorial, and I'm sharing some of my notes from how I fixed a few things from the tutorial. Now, I will be fair and say that I am an idiot. And so some of these errors may be my own fault, and I may be making this way harder on myself. But that is also just my experience, and I will be sharing it. First tutorial that I watched for this is Blackthorn Fraud's 3-part series on an easy random dungeon generation. You will be hearing this name a lot. I think he is a good resource for getting into Unity for your first time. He has taught me a lot of things. That being said, I ran into a few issues along the way, and here are a few that I will list off just kind of rapid fire. Number 1, the white boxes in the videos that he uses will be your rooms. I was a bit stupid in thinking that there would be something else that would be tied to the rooms. Do not make this stupid thought process. These are going to be your rooms, the things that you put your players into. Make sure they have the box colliders you need. Make sure they have the designs you want. Make sure they have the size you want. You can use them through, or you can make them through expanding like white squares. You can use them through just duplicating the default sprite squares. You can do a lot of things to just make a room. Number 2, make sure for the spawn points that you have a box collider that's set to is trigger true, a room spawn script, a spawn point tag, and a rigid body object that makes sure the gravity is not affecting it. Trust me, I had to go through and set these all manually. It was a pain, and it took me hours. Not hours, I'm being over dramatic. Let me gripe. Number 3, one of the issues I came across and that a lot of other people were coming across was that the rooms would spawn infinitely. I will try to post the commenter that gave me this idea right here now, but I saw a comment that gave me the idea to add a spawn point in the middle of the room, but without the room spawner script. You will come across a destroyer object later in the series. The destroyer object will go right on top of this spawn point that is in the middle of the room. You will have both of them. I also believe that I put down the middle point as also having the destroyer script, but I don't think I did so for the entry. So basically, the middle spawn point for just the entry will have nothing. On all the rest of the rooms, the middle spawn point will have the destroyer script. Got it? And on the destroyer script, in addition to the compare tag empty that causes the game object to be destroyed, you will also be making one exactly like that, except the tag that you'll be looking for is center point. You will be tagging all of the middle spawn points center point. That's just how I did it. Number 4, I put this destroyed game object after it says has spawn equal true, because when I tried to make sure there was no overlap the way he did it, it threw a fit about having to find the spawn point and resulted in some sort of has spawn error. So if you were having that issue, that is how I personally fixed that. And also with that last suggestion I did, that is also how I fixed that. I am also stupid, so this may just be a me issue. Number 5, so along with the center point, I also added a trigger enter statement that searches for counterpoint tag and ends up deleting itself if it finds that there is another center point already there. Basically, when the center points meet, then they will delete. I put this near the top of my script to try and make it happen before any of the other stuff starts. I did put this above the start function, so I'm not sure it did anything. Like, I don't know which came first, the start function or the trigger function. But it worked for me either way, so I'm not going to question it. And finally, for number 6, this was just me being a bit of an idiot. Make sure the empty room object that you have has its tag identified and that the box collider is set to a trigger. Alright, you still with me? You hearing how sick I am? I'm doing this for y'all. I also want to show off that this game has top-down player movement. The tutorial I got this from is from the channel Pants on Lava. I don't have any notes on it. It was a simple and quick tutorial. It was a quick and simple tutorial. Did I say simple? Oh my god. Both of the tutorials were super helpful, and I'm glad I found them both super early. Alright, so that is it for this video. I will come back and update you all next Sunday, hopefully when I'm not dying. Be sure to check out my website and check out all the stuff on there. Again, it is linked in the description below and in my bio. And this is Milo signing out. Bye. I hope I'm not dead by the time you next see me.